You ready? We're live.
Here we go.
We're live.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Make sure you get my good angle, bro.
There you go.
I think every angle you got is good, man.
Hey,
All
there
right.
you go.
I just
Damn,
want to
dude,
start by saying that coughing is not because I have the China virus.
Mike, it sounds like you got like the Kung flu.
I got that Wu flu.
You got that Wu-Tang flu, the coronavirus?
That's right, that fucking stupid ass shit.
Oh, man. So we're live, Archie?
We're live. We're live. We got some live guests, and go for it, Tom. Do your intro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. MMAFightPass.com, the HAMMERFIST podcast. This is officially what, Archie? Our third live virtual?
Number 4.
Number 4 of our virtual shows, guys. Since we've been on this little quarantine lockdown with this whole virus deal going on. We got some awesome guests today. I want to welcome to the show Mike Moreno down here on the bottom. Thank you, Mike, for joining us. Handsome guy coughing.
Okay, Mike. Damn. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have taken that toke right as I was being introduced. I was like,
hey, you're done.
Oh, shit, it's on me. Oh, fuck. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Damn, Mike, what is that?
This is some of that. It's called some of that. Oh, it's called some of that better than yours.
Better than yours. Oh, better than most.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks again for coming, man.
Hey, I'm at home. We're fucking in California, bro. We're Green Eagle around here. You know what I mean? Everybody knows I like to medicate. If you don't know, now you know. I don't fucking hide that shit. It is what it is.
It's all good. Hey, we're in quarantine right now. Whatever you're doing is all good. And on the bottom here, we got Antoine Hood from California. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Sitting in the snake room, lighting my little artificial sauna right now, trying to keep those heat shock proteins going. You know what I mean?
If you guys don't know, Anton, you sell snakes on the side? What kind of snakes are those?
I breed and sell ball pythons. You can look me up, high desert pythons.
You got your own website or what?
Yep, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just look it up and you'll find it. So just hit me up from there. And if you like reptiles, we can go from there and I'll hook you up with something cool.
That's sick, man. So when you're not training guys and homeland people, you're working with pythons.
Yeah, when I'm not at the gym, when I get home from the gym about 10 at night, I spend another like 4 hours in this room cleaning up snake poop and shit. So, that's
a lot of snake shit, bro.
Yeah.
Man,
what's that?
Dude, how the hell do you sleep at night knowing those fucking things are crawling around?
They can't bother me, man. I got 2 pit bulls. They're fucking
All right. Guys, we also got Sergio Quinones. You guys know Sergio Quinones Jr., well-known MMA fighter from here in the Valley, from Lemoore. He'll be joining us shortly, guys. He'll be coming in. Up in the top corner, right corner, we got Xavier Ortega. He's one of our podcast guys. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Xavier, you were just saying you had a car full of kids and you're getting ready to go shoot some bows and arrows, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go shoot some arrows.
Nice.
Kid watches that guy all the time on YouTube.
Just the kind of
activity the kids are telling us to watch that. What's that?
Just the activity you want your child doing. Oh, the shit.
There there you go.
Yeah. What's up, Serge?
Sergio, can you hear us?
Look like Max Headroom.
You look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator.
We can see you.
Sergio, how
can
you
you hear
doing?
us? There you go.
Hold on. All right.
Speak a little louder.
Yeah.
I can hear you, Sergio, just fine. I mean, I can see you just fine. Just the audio a little louder.
How you been, bro?
I'm having a difficulties here, I guess.
Sounds better.
Your audio sucks, bro.
It's that Lemoore internet, dude.
There you go. Come on.
Where you at, Sergio Limor?
Hold on, I can't.
see if I can make
What,
this hard.
what mansion are you at? Which one are you at?
Hockey
I'll be
Palace.
right back. I'm gonna try to log in again.
Yeah.
It's all right. He'll be
Okay,
back.
bye.
So that's what
Hey,
happens, guys, when we have a weak connection. When the other person has a weak connection, it just gets disconnected and we connect right back up. Right, Tom? Go for it.
it's all good. Hey, whatever happens, happens. Today's show, we're just here trying to have a little fun, trying to take a little
Right.
stress off of this whole quarantine podcast deal that we've been doing. Not being able to get in the studio with you guys. I would much rather be at a table with you guys. You know what I mean? In the same room.
Right.
But we got to do it the way we got to do it. So, thanks again for joining us. Archie, how you doing, man?
Hey, doing good. Once again, I mean, it's an awesome, crew that we have put together today with Antoine, Mike, and Sergio, Xavier, Tom. Thanks for joining us. We're in different parts of California, which is exciting. It'd be nice to have us all together in a room, drink some beers, but we can do our own thing in our own little private space, right, Mr. Moreno?
Yes, we
Uh,
Dude,
can.
Mike, you're
and
going to town like a train, bro.
Bro, I'm a
My
real
kind of
smoker.
guy.
Like, I'm a smoker. I'm a connoisseur. Like, I like to smoke.
I'm high
enjoy
watching
it.
you smoke.
Yo, I
Hey,
should have.
man.
I should have. I did.
Hey, we had a
what
whole.
I did on this one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Tell me. No, go ahead.
What
Go
I-
ahead. Finish.
What I did on this one, you should have seen it before it started. But you guys see the flawless glass tip. You know what I mean? I
Oh
always put the
shit.
glass tip, but I fucking lace the paper with wax, so I'll butter it up, and then I'll fucking roll that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Shit
Damn,
burns
dude.
forever.
Hey,
It's the
Anton is
one.
getting stoned just looking at you.
Hey, shout out to my drug dealer.
Damn, dude. What's
I'll
up with
just
the
talk
glass
this shit,
tip?
bro. Bro, what it
What's up with
does
the
is
glass tip?
it keeps the like blunt or joint or whatever it is you're smoking open. It doesn't resonate shut, because when sometimes you hit it and you're smoking with the homies or even sometimes by yourself, when you start getting slobbering all over it like a dummy,
Yeah.
you fucking shit starts to close up and you can't hit it anymore. If you guys don't know, that's what happens with smokers, okay? And or you pass it and the fucking paper starts ripping and shit. So the glass tip prevents all of that shit. Plus, you don't get your fucking fingers all stinky like weed and resin all over your fucking mouth and shit,
there
I
you
do
go.
know.
So
Hey, a
it's
lot of
just,
people.
For
the
the
next
There's
level
a,
smoker.
on the
yeah.
500 cash, we won the Savage Axis.
There's a lot of people out there that hate on it, man. But they don't. A lot of people that don't realize that jujitsu
Yeah,
/ MMA community, these two things go hand in hand with a lot of people. And
it
hey,
does.
the other day I was watching you guys. You had a little training session going in your garage.
Yeah, I still, bro, besides all this bullshit, my answer has always been just to boost your immune system. Boost your immune system, you're gonna be good. So like everybody who boosts their immune system, like I don't mind fucking still training, bro. I still get down. I still roll. I got a couple people that come over and train with me still and roll around and this kind of thing. But like I still try to keep it. I mean, it's at my house, you know what I mean? So I don't like just let anybody come over to my house. You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say.
So yeah, so the circle is very small, and it's mostly people that I already train with, you know what I mean, and know me. And we'll come over,
Hey,
we'll smoke and roll all day, bro. You know,
yes. Hey,
just
and who
like we
makes the
say, we do
cut?
shots and squats, bro. Shots and squats.
Right.
That I quote
No,
Coach
not
Ralph is
yet.
the one
Still.
that fucking coined that one.
Are you
Who
wearing
is
G
that
pants?
talking in the background?
Hell yeah, bro! I wear G pants all the time. You know what I mean? Like I'm mobbing key pants. Like I stay in key pants. This shit's so comfortable.
No
The
pockets.
best.
Right after this, actually, I'm doing some jujitsu and some pad work with my wife. So we're trying to take advantage of the time together. You know.
Yeah.
Do you have kids, Mike?
I do. I have 3 kids, bro. I got a son and 2 daughters. son came first, and then my two daughters. So it's 4, 3, four, two, 4, 2.5, about to be 3 later on this month, and another one that's gonna be 1.
That's awesome. And what about you,
Yeah.
Antoine?
Yeah, all my kids are in high school, man. My son is the middle. He's 17. My youngest daughter's 15, and then my oldest daughter is 20. So they're almost out the door, man. Child support almost over.
Oh,
Man.
I saw your face lighting up, and you said they were almost out the door.
For real. Jesus, man. But,
And so I have a
Hey,
question
you guys
for
still
you.
training, Antoine?
we got people who come by. We got like certain time slots put out for people to work on bags and stuff from the gym like that. I'm still doing instructional videos at the gym. We started finishing. We did some of those last night. We did some boxing stuff, some Muay Thai stuff, and some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So from the few of the people who stuck with us, who hasn't like canceled their membership or magically their card stopped working for April, I've been kind of filming content for those guys and doing like online FaceTime stuff and Zoom videos and things like that. So I mean, we got to do what we can, but all my other little side businesses is kind of I'm gonna just do what I can to keep the doors open. So I mean, unless we're shut down forever, you know what I mean?
Right, I feel you on that. We started doing some filming and doing some online videos over at T-Throne as well. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Hey, Mike, so
I
how
think we
often do
need
you
to do
find
more
yourself working out still? I mean, it's
every
safety,
day,
right? In a safe
five
environment.
five
But
to 5 to 6 times a week.
nice. That's good. It can happen. You can do it as long as you do it in a safe environment. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I mop my mats twice a day. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So, and it's just a small, like right here in my garage, like you guys can see wrestling mats behind me. Like there's wrestling, like my whole fucking garage is matted. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like I keep this shit super clean. Have to,
yeah,
man.
man.
Coronavirus.
Like
Mike, do you
Mike
have
said,
any
I'm not.
up and coming events after this coronavirus wears off?
Say that
Oh,
again.
Do you have any up and coming events after this coronavirus wears off?
June. In June.
June?
June what is it? June what?
June 13th,
13th?
13th,
Yeah,
13th.
June 13th. That's gonna be in is it still gonna be at the Pioneer Village, yeah?
It's gonna be at Visalia, the convention center.
Oh, that's right, that's right. It's gonna be at the convention center. Sorry. I should know this fucking shit.
So you're gonna be at the fight on the convention center?
Yeah, we're gonna do the welterweight grappling tournament. And then we got a bunch of kick-ass fights coming up as well. Actual MMA fights. You know what I mean? But yeah, it should be, man. I think it's gonna probably be one of our best shows, just because everybody's gonna want to go out and do something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like when
People are
fucking
itching, man.
like the gym gets fucking packed after New Year's on January because everybody's doing New Year's resolution type shit. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be a great time. It's going to be super fun. What do you think, Antoine?
Yeah, man. We're gonna announce some of the matchups in the next couple days or so and make it public. But yeah, it's gonna be some bangers, man. It's gonna be some rematches on there that had some real good fights. So just stay tuned, guys.
Hey, Mike, how was
What's
your
up,
coach
Blair?
during all this?
My what?
Your coach, your jiu-jitsu coach.
Oh, TNT is my best friend.
How does he feel about it?
Yeah, like how
Kind
is he
of the
dealing
same.
with this whole virus deal?
He's kind of doing the same thing. Like he's biding his time, staying afloat however he can. Doing privates for cheap. He still trains a little bit with certain people at the gym. It's kind of the same way, bro. You know what I mean? I don't think he's put anything online. There is stuff already online on bjjlibrary.com. There's a ton of fucking stuff on there by him, but kind of the same thing we're doing, bro. Just waiting it out. That's all we can really do.
What do you guys think about this? How long do you think this is going to last, man?
I'm hoping we're fucking done by the end of this month, bro, and I can go back to work next month.
Well, so what? So at 3 o'clock our time, the president's supposed to be going live and talking about like the plans from this time on forward. So in about an hour or so, we should have some kind of newer guidelines, hopefully. So
interesting.
we'll see.
And so, Mike,
Yeah, he's trying to open it back up, man.
He is.
That's what I need. I mean, fuck, bro. We need to make money, bro. Like,
Well, see,
I can't be.
well, the problem is with a lot of like jujitsu gyms and MMA gyms and like people like us is that they just exhaust all the money for those small business loans. For the business loan for everybody. So I think it came up with like $349 billion that got announced today, and they're out of money. And the problem with a lot of jujitsu gyms and MMA gyms is not structured the same way as having like a bunch of employees with the business. A lot of times there's an owner, and then there's a lot of independent contractors like jujitsu coaches, boxing coaches, kind of doing their own being their own separate entity. So when you go apply for these loans, if you don't have a certain amount of employees, you won't get them. You know what I mean? So all like the small fitness centers and boxing and MMA gyms and jiu-jitsu academies are not getting any of that money at all. So we're kind of left to fend for ourselves. So, I mean, fortunately, I still got like a good percentage of people that stick it with me regardless of what happens. But I still got to make up that money, other ways. So I got all these other side businesses now that I have plans for, like go on vacations and go travel, things like that. I'm pouring that money into the gym now because I got a couple $1,000 a month nut to make, and there's no gym now. So everybody else is getting these big loans and all this money. Like, what's the steak place that got $20 million? Like, give me $10,000 and I'll be good. You know what I mean? So these guys get $20 million. It's crazy, man.
Hey, Antoine, you're a gym owner, right?
Yep, I own Flawless Victory MMA here in Ridgecrest. We got about 250 students now.
And
had 250 students.
And so were you able to communicate with all your students, tell them what's going on, and has any of them kind of reached out? And okay, here's the question, right? I mean, are they helping you out with tuition?
So before we were mandated to lockdown, I shut the gym down 2 days earlier. So like I made a post and said, hey, until further notice, gonna be shut down. So I'll be honest with you, like there's a couple of people right away inside the first few days that sent me a message, hey, I lost my job or whatever like that. I'm gonna have to cancel my membership, which is fine because even from like the customer standpoint, you got to realize that when you got a bunch of bills to pay and like martial arts is probably gonna be at the bottom of it. You know what I mean? If you got to decide between your electric bill, your rent, things like that, you got to start making some cuts, which is fine, but it's just the way it kind of happened with some of the people where like April 1st came along and I'm expecting certain debits to pop up and now it's card decline. You know what I mean? So, and then those guys, I finally talked to them or reached out to them and, they told me the situation was cool. But the majority of the people are still like, hey, coach, no matter what happens, we got you. There's been people at the gym where like I help them pay their rent. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I can't come to the gym. I got a fight coming up. I got to do some side job because I need money. I've literally paid these guys rent and helped pay these guys mortgage. So those guys are still sticking with me, man. So, there's still some loyal ones out there. And when all this stuff eases up, I mean, they'll be welcome back. But the thing about my situation is I just expanded the gym to double the size. Like the building next to me, like we took those walls down and I got a weight center in there. I got a separate jiu-jitsu room for like the striking room and stuff like that too. So literally 2 months ago, I put a bunch of money into expanding the gym and doubling my rent. And now I'm like, fuck, man. Like,
so Antoine,
Antoine,
you're a business owner.
It's a
you're
tough
an entrepreneur.
situation.
What are you doing, Antoine, and to kind of pivot yourself or still doing, what kind of business are you doing right now to pay some bills? What are you doing?
Oh, well, I still have my day job. Well, a lot of people don't know. I moved to China Lake in Ridgecrest because I work for the Department of Defense out there. So I still work on the military jets. So they still have us working out there. So my full-time, like regular job is still safe. But, I have that doesn't pay all of the bills. You know what I mean? So I'm still doing like all my other stuff, like my Python business. This is hatching season right now. So I got about 400 babies coming in the next month or so. So, on average, those babies probably going to average about $500 to $1,000 a baby. So as long as I play that right, you know what I mean? I'm going to sell most of them, but I want to keep a whole bunch back to make some cooler stuff next year. But I think I'm going to have to sell a bunch of them to pay the rest of these crazy bills, man, because I got to come out of the pocket and pay like, a couple grand a month for the gym. So I got to take care of that depending on how long this thing lasts. And then also a lot of people know that I'm prior military. So I also have a gunsmithing business. So everybody's been sending me their Corona money in the past 2 or 3 days to help fix their AR platforms and things like that. So I've been doing that and stuff too, and like disassembling and re-oiling and things like that. So That's been going well, man. So I'm staying afloat doing that, and then just like doing private lessons online through FaceTime and Zoom and stuff like that. So I'm out here hustling, man. I'm not just laying around getting fat. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great story, right? It's a good message for people that, there's always something out there to find to do. And of course, gym owners get hit the hardest. Speaking about gym owners, hey Mike, how's Dethrone doing? And are you said you guys are doing videos, and what else are you guys, what's happening out there with Dethrone?
Well, right now everything's just pretty much on hold, bro. I don't really know what like the business side of it or how that's going. Like that's that's not in my lane. You know what I mean? I'm there to teach the class and to unify a team and technique. Just be a coach. That's my job there. And right now it's shut down. So essentially, I'm just trying to figure out when can we go back and start getting training again. You know what I mean? I need to get back in there. So we just started throwing out those videos. Jason should have them put together by the end of the week, like in this next couple of days, bro. That stuff should be out there available
nice.
for our students, and it's pretty much if you want it, there it is. If not, well, you don't have to take it,
That's right.
Hopefully our students like the content, and we do a lot more videos, put a lot more content out there. I'm new to I'm new to it. You know what I mean? We just did a filming session like yesterday, I think it was, and so yeah.
Tom, what do you think?
What I think,
Maybe I
I'm
can get
loving
some.
what all the coaches are doing with the videos, man. You know what I mean? It's giving everybody a chance to see what other people were doing. And I even seen you're putting out some videos, Archie. Pretty cool. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff.
But just
But
like
yeah,
Mike said, there you go.
there he is. He's back.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Sergio?
Hey.
That need more internet. Come on.
Hey,
Can you hear us all?
The Terminator.
I think I'm
Yeah,
in
we
now.
can hear him good.
Tell Tachi Palace to
Take
step
two.
up
Can you
their
guys hear
internet
me?
game.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I know, man. Hey, man. Got the virus. I guess that virus got a hold of everything, man. The internet. You're getting old when technology starts to piss you off and you can't work it, man.
Yeah,
All over
internet's
me
got
trying
the
to log on
Rona
my
and shit.
phone, on my laptop. I can't figure this stuff out, man. And I
Hey,
know
you
my
did it
daughter
though.
knows how to work this better than I do. That's the crazy thing. I did it for now. I'm in for now.
Cheers,
How's everyone
Tom.
going? What's up, Antoine? How you doing, my boy?
What's up, big dog? How you been, man?
Mike, how you doing, man? All right,
What's up,
man. Good for
brother?
you
How's
guys,
it?
man. Y'all looking good.
Hey, you too, man.
Y'all
You look.
looking handsome. You know what I mean?
You still look cute, bro.
I'm trying, man. Oh, I'm trying,
Hey,
man.
you
I'm
made
trying. You know what I mean? We gotta keep that. What?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I just want to let you know, Sergio, that you made a special
Can you
cut
hear
for
me?
today's show. OGs only.
Oh, the OG list. Right?
Oh yeah, man. OG's all the way. I
We
know.
had,
I
hey,
know.
me and Archie had a
Yeah.
squad put together. I'm not going to name any names, but there was about 5 people that I know have been around the game for a long time and that are not just OGs at MMA and jiu-jitsu, but you guys are OGs at life, like enjoying your family and living it up. You know what I mean? But it ended up being
Porra.
so.
Uh, there
It's
you
an
go.
honor.
Hey, so
Yeah, it's an honor.
hey, Mike and Antoine and Sergio, how many years have each of you been in the MMA industry, be it whatever you guys been doing?
You
Mike,
go first,
so
Serge.
Yeah, man. I think I'm going almost
Whoever.
on 10
for
years
certain.
now.
Say again,
I
Sergio?
remember watching. I said I think I'm going on like 10 years now, man. I remember going to the Palace actually and watching Mike fight. Alabama, man, that guy was a freaking animal, man. Watching him stand and bang and kick the
Puss.
shit out of
Yes.
people. And those were like not before I started, man. And so I think that Mike caused a seniority over me. You know what I mean, to respect with that. And
Puss.
but yeah, I'm going on like 10 years now, 10, 11 years, man, of just going out to and banging, man. Man, I started fighting so long ago, man. There was no amateurs. You wanted to fight, you went to hit pro. You might fight someone
Mm-hmm.
that they just found in the backyard of an alley, or you might find a black belt, that's been training his whole life. You didn't know what they were going to throw at you, and that's what we had to deal with back in the day.
Hey, man.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, man. I can hear Art.
Yeah, we can
I can hear you great. I can hear you great, man.
We could hear you.
Hey, with Sergio, when you and Mike, I saw both of you guys' first fights, being from the area. I fought on the same field you did out there in the north at WC. But just like you just said, it was no amateur show back then. And if you got a phone
No.
call from Christian or from Christian Printup or from Reed Harris, you didn't have no idea. You could be fighting a local guy. It could be a guy from a backyard or from a high school campus, or it could be like a dude from Kingston Rock School or from Horse Racing School. Like, you really had no idea. The internet wasn't that big either back then.
No.
To do the research like you can now is a little different, right, Mike? How different was it for you back then?
Bro, it was
Mike,
crazy back then, dude. Yeah, it was fucking crazy back then, bro. Like you said, there was no amateur league. CSAC was just starting to be put together and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes you didn't even know if you were gonna fight like random ass motherfuckers. It was crazy.
Random ass people, you had no idea. Hey, plus,
yeah, and so like
back back then, man, I remember that they would just tell me a name, and I'm like, hey, let's do it. You know what I mean? No research on the guy, no nothing. You know what I mean? But we were a different level of fighters. You know what I mean? We were I guess a generation ahead of what they are now. You know what I mean? Like, I guess back then we were a little bit crazier. I mean, and you can see the progression just in the shows like The Ultimate Fighter. If you see like The Ultimate Fighter 1, 2, man, these guys were like, pissing on each other's beds, breaking doors, drinking right before the fight, all that stuff. And these guys are the pioneers of UFC. People like Diego Sanchez, and Forrest Gump and all these, some wild people, man. And and like nowadays, progressing,
hey, bro,
whether it's politics or everyone just trying to calm. Everyone's a little bit more
fucking
calm,
pussy. Just say it, they're a fucking pussy. They're fucking pussies, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Back then, every motherfucker you trained with, everybody that I trained with,
all right, I'll catch you guys later. I gotta get going.
Take it easy.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Thank you for having me on. Nice seeing you, Sergio. Nice seeing you, Mike. Nice.
All right, take it easy, brother.
Later, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
like I was saying, bro, like everybody we trained with were fucking animals, bro. They didn't give a fuck. They would like fight whoever, whenever, and they train like that. You know what I mean? We train fucking hard. Nowadays, bro, most people are like I barely put them through the fucking paces, and they're bitching and complaining already. And I'm like, bitch, you're a big fucking loudmouth on social media, but when it comes to in the fucking gym, you're like, get out of here. But I keep to my, I can't. I mean, I'm not trying to fucking put nobody on blast, but there are people like that. On the flip side of that,
put them on blast, bro. Put them on blast.
Just fucking grind, bro. They just fucking grind, and they do shit. Nobody got to hold them by the hand to fucking get them to fucking train or put together a schedule. You know what I mean? Like, they just get on there and they fucking do it, bro. They're on their fucking A game. So to those kind of people, I got to give their props. So there's the in-betweeners. You know what I mean? That kind of like are still trying to figure out which direction they want to go, or even if they're in or all the way out of the game. It's crazy, man. The game's changed so much from then until now. Then people fucking were fighting because they wanted to do it and they had a passion for it. Now people want to do it because it's cool. You know what I mean? And that's where it starts fucking getting all wishy-washy.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit.
I was gonna say, Mike, we started fighting before it was cool, man. Before all the hype and all that stuff. I think a lot of people nowadays, honestly, they'll just take a fight. They live more for the hype than the actual fight. You know what I mean? Or they just want that one cool picture, that one cool Facebook profile picture. To be like, oh look, I got in the cage and
I want to mark
take
it off
balls.
my
Like,
bucket
no,
list.
man. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, exactly. And the crazy thing is, like, I'll see, like, people like Antoine, he's a matchmaker now, and I'll see him
Sorry
post.
about that.
these excuses, or like these conversations that he has with some of these
Yeah, it's
fighters.
crazy.
It's crazy, man. Like, oh, you know,
Yeah,
I
that
want
motherfucker puts them
like
on.
a beat, or he's a wrestler. I don't want to fight him. Or, you know, he has a six pack. I don't want to fight him. Man, I was picking fights with people. All I knew was a name. If I knew a name, cool. You know what I mean? Let's get ready for this guy. I knew nothing about him. All I know
So
is that, you know, like 4
Hey,
weeks from now,
Sergio, how
sometimes
much you
like
weighing
4
right
days
now,
from
bro?
now, we're gonna train. My real weight or what I tell people? Nah, I'm probably like we'll average it out to about 170, man. Well,
All
I'm
right,
about
all
I'm about
right.
170, man. Like for real,
I'm
yeah,
What do you
saying,
170.
I'm
No,
fight
no,
saying
at,
not too
bro?
this.
bad.
This is a fucking cheap
55,
flex,
man.
but I'm looking for one more for our tournament, bro. What's up? Are you down?
Oh,
In
what tournament is
June,
this? What tournament is this?
the welterweight
Okay,
grappling tournament. It's a grappling tournament. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
shit!
okay.
One night,
For
3
70
matches to
or
win it
what?
all. Like pretty much fight to win rules. You know what I mean? 6 minute round,
Hey,
bro.
say less, bro. Hey, you had me at I'm looking for a man. All right, so you had me at that. I'm in.
Just
I'm
like
in.
that,
Yeah. I'm down,
Mike.
man.
Who
I'm
else you got
down. You
in
know what I
there?
mean? Yeah, and especially
do
walking around
it.
with. Yeah, man.
Yeah. 559 fights,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
We're gonna
I
be
hope to see.
fucking
I hope to see
our
559 back, man. Yeah, man.
it's
We all
looking.
had big things going on before all this crazy shit happened, but what it is, man.
I'll hit you up more about it
So
for
everything
June.
goes back to
June
normal
13th,
or ish.
Sergio.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. Slide in the DM. Slide in the DM. Let me know.
Damn, Anton.
What
Yo,
up?
Anton. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you good.
What was that?
Hey,
Uh,
I'm. Did you go to any of those old WECs back in the day out there at Totsky?
No,
Great
but I
question.
watched them all though, because I was on the East Coast
me?
then. I didn't get to California until about 10 years ago. So I
Mm.
pretty much, but I always been a diehard MMA fan, and I trained and fought myself too. So I was always like watching these guys too. So like Mickey and his brother, you know what I mean? Like I watched all those guys before I even met them in person. So it was always like dope coming out here, and there's a few guys like I've been friends with for a while. I didn't even realize that I was playing with them as like in the video games with like EA MMA and shit too. Like it took me almost 2 years of hanging out with Billy Evangelista, and then I was playing with him on the fucking video game because all I just thought him was Billy, and I was like, oh shit, like, so you know what I mean. So I
Mm.
mean, I'm watching for a long time, man, and just coming over here like coaching and moving from the East Coast. I mean, like I just watched so many people come up and like all these guys grow up from little kids, man, to grown men and shit is just crazy. So like I knew all of these guys, Mike and Sergio and everybody else before they even knew who I was. So like,
Yeah, I got a
That's what's
question
Really?
up.
for Mike and Sergio. Mike, the question for you or a comment is I've seen you fight, back in the days also, and one thing that stood out, and I've always told people, I never told you, that you were badass with your elbows, man. Those damn elbows, bro. When you got close, when
Oh,
you're on
thank you,
top,
brother.
and
Well,
I want to hear a
yeah,
story about your elbows, how you learned those elbows, and then Sergio.
you
Afterwards, Sergio, you're Mr. Darth chokes, man. When'd you get comfortable hitting those in the match, and then where'd you learn it? Go for it, Mike.
That's a great question, Archie. Um, well, really, all my Muay Thai came from Jasper. You know what I mean? At Buhawi. So like that's where I started learning elbows. But the guy that taught me like how to apply the leverage behind the elbow using the shoulder from the hip, it's like a lightning bolt from the hip to the shoulder to the elbow. Boom! And so it comes almost like a straight, or like we call it like a Dutch jab. You know what I mean? Like a Dutch jab is like lean into it with your hip and you hit hard with your hip. It's kind of like that, but with the elbow. The guy who taught me that was Yang. Um, he's one of my old fucking homies from back in the day, from the Buhawi days. And the I remember one time I was fighting in San Jose. I can't remember who the fuck I fought, but it was an MMA fight, and it was against a guy who supposedly was a really good Muay Thai guy. I didn't know it at the time, but Nick His was actually the main event. I think it was like one of the very first Strike Force events. You know what I mean? And I remember fighting this guy, and I had him up against the cage, and he was doing this shit, and I posted on his wrist, and I slid my fucking elbow, and blow! I cut him open over his fucking eye, bro. That was toward the end of the fight, but like I was like, God damn, that shit kind of hurt me. Fuck, that fucking hurt my elbow. I hit him hard as fuck, bro. But like, yeah, elbows and knees and working in the clinch. As far as striking that's my shit.
Yeah, I knew when you got on top
You
of
know
a
what I'm
full
saying?
mount, half mount, once that mount was there, your fucking elbows clean.
Oh, it was coming fast too, bro. Up against the cage from fucking ground and pound all the time, elbows or knees to the body. I got a mean ground and pound game. I'm starting to pass on to the guys that are ready for it, as far as our fighters. They get the basics, but and Anton knows there's little tricks that you can do when you're fighting, when you're in close, little things. You know what I mean? How you maybe control both arms while keeping another arm free. How to keep them from creating space. You know, the little baby details. You know what I mean? Like you can't teach to somebody until they're at a certain level. Then you can pass that knowledge on because it makes sense.
Yeah, well,
So
because
if
a
you
lot of
get too
guys
much,
too. Yeah, because
you
a
can't
lot
get
of the
too
younger
quick.
guys, they want to see the end result right away and stuff too. But a lot of people don't realize, as far as striking arts go, how much footwork goes into play. As far as like your lead leg in position to your opponents, and no matter what stances they are, and things like that too. So a lot of people always ask me, "Well, coach, I can't generate power if I do this, I do that." And I'm like, "Well, okay, your opponent is this stance, this is your stance. Like your feet need to be here in order to block this." So it's just a lot of like if-then statements. So once it gets to a higher level, they realize how important footwork is. You know, like we're generating power, and then they kind of get it after that.
Also, like there's multiple things that happen even within something as simple as a jab. Like most people will just throw the jab like straight. Like here goes the fucking lesson for you guys, all right? Jab straight down the fucking pipe, right? That's normal. What people are forgetting is to move the head with the jab. This way you don't stay on that center line, and you move the head with the jab. This way it sets up your next punch with head movement and fucking power. The second and first, maybe the third can be an angle change with the footwork, but that still has to come with moving off the center line and throwing at the same time. Add those two layers. The third layer is the footwork. Once you get the footwork, which is in and out, and the ability to even lean left and right and move this way, that comes with balance and footwork. You have to have your feet in the right place in order to do that. After that is an angle. You know what I'm saying? So you're going striking with head movement to be deceptive, and you're also moving in. So you're doing depth deception, movement deception, parry, and striking. So there's like 5 things going on. There's a grip of things going on, all with just simply a deceptive jab. Boom. The second one, bam. You got to move your feet and cut the angle and throw everything at the same time. But your feet got to get to the floor before your hand connects to your opponent, so you can generate that power. And a lot of the times you don't even got to hit them hard. You just got to touch them. Just be there. You don't have to fucking throw hard. These youngsters the beginning strikers always want to fucking hit the pads hardest they fucking can every goddamn fucking punch. I want some fucking relaxation and some smoothness and some fucking like fluidity and be loose. Let that shit fucking flow. Blah 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 blah. Breathe. Put your feet in the right place. Make sure that your feet are putting yourself at the right distance to manage the distance.
Yeah.
I love it. I love all that. That's so sick.
Your
What
audio.
about you, Antoine?
But hey, Mike, your audio kind of cut off, but we'll check you out here in a bit.
Hey, it cut out, but what you just showed right there is dope. I love it, man. Especially the relaxation.
Hey, Mike, no audio, Mike. We're gonna have
Audio's
to.
going.
Anton, can you hear me?
I can't find.
Hey, so you came from the East Coast. Did you grow up over there, bud?
We'll get back with you, Serge.
when you grew up over there, Anton, what was your first martial art that you did as a young kid?
So right now I'm in year 31 of martial arts total. So being from the East Coast, like every kid starts out with like karate and taekwondo, things like that too. So actually I trained directly under June Reed instructor, which is the person who brought taekwondo to America. So a lot of my flexibility and my dexterity and my kicks all came from having a taekwondo background. So when I actually grew up in middle school, high school, and started doing kickboxing and Muay Thai, already had an advantage above everybody else in my same age class and stuff too, So, and I also had one of those instructors where it wasn't just like, this belt system, karate and things like that. It's like, no, you have to go fight. So at 16 and 17 years old, as a karate guy, I'm fighting Muay Thai guys at 25, 26 years old, trying to get a little strike on my belt, walking around with my head hanging off and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was early on in life. And then when I went to the military, that's when I started doing wrestling and jiu-jitsu, things like that to kind of round out my game. And then, just traveling and being deployed and, fighting in Thailand and Bahrain and stuff like that, I kind of got my, my lumps that way. And, once I got my military career and I moved to the West Coast and I started just training guys here and there that's living in a small town where there was really no MMA and things like that, So it kind of came like a by chance thing almost. I just kind of wanted to kind of train, hit some bags and work on my grappling. And I just ended up kind of coaching, you know what I mean? I loved it. So now I've been coaching for almost, 10 years straight. So, I mean, and it just morphed into this real big thing. It was just, I wanted to kind of be a behind the scenes guy that just wanted to kind of train a couple guys and keep some people busy in this small town. And it turned out, being on podcasts with you guys and working for promotions and being the cut man for a bunch of different promotions and things like that. Get offers from the UFC to be one of their cut men, and now to managing over 15 professional fighters. So, I mean, it's just it started this real small thing where, hey man, I'm gonna come to the West Coast and start training jiu-jitsu full time to now I'm doing all of this shit. So it's pretty crazy.
That's cool, man. It's been cool knowing you. All I really know about you and how I met you is seeing you literally at every MMA fight that I go to around here. You're always backstage, either wrapping a guy's hand or cornering somebody. And it seems like you got a lot of experience at it, man. Looks like you like it a lot. And those guys enjoy having you there.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. How many young fighters I met since I've been here? They're like, hey, man, my coach got arrested. Can you wrap my hands for me? Whatever. And then now watching these guys in the UFC and shit, So I the past 10 years, I've seen guys have their first and second amateur fights, and now they're in the UFC, and it's just nuts, man. Seeing how raw of a talent they were, and then point them into the right direction and get them in the right gym. You know what I mean? And hit up a bunch of friends saying, hey, man, I know this guy. Train him, and he moved down there, and now it's magic. You know what I mean? So it's pretty dope.
That's awesome. Now, Sergio, man, bro, I've all I know from you is seeing you fight at so many damn shows. I don't even know how many fights you got, so that's one of my questions. But I know you have shit in the fights, dude. And man, if you haven't fought in the cage ever, it's that experience is something else. But to fight in a cage or in a ring in front of a crowd and family and friends is really an experience of a lifetime. But, dude, you've done it. How many times have you fought in front of a crowd?
That depends, what you mean a crowd, high school behind Pizza King crowd?
A crowd like at the Palace or at one of these shows?
I have, I think, 31 fights. I'm 14 and 17. So, yeah, that's 31. Yeah, 31 fights, man. And
that's nuts, man.
A lot of those fights, man, back in the day were, it's just it was just fun to fight, man. It was not that it was cool, but it was just I guess the warrior spirit thing to do. You know what I mean? I took a fight on 2 days' notice, man. Some I won, others I lost. You know what I mean? And now looking back at it, of course, I was trying to do take a different route.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
About everything. But I don't think I would. I don't think I'd change anything at this point, man, because now I have all this experience. You know what I mean? I know what to do, what not to do. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be selfless and pass all that knowledge on to other people. Whether it's other young fighters or if I hope to be a coach one day, man. I was supposed to start a program here in Hanford right before all this virus bullshit started. You know what I mean?
Go.
So that's on standby right now. The future's open for that. Hopefully I could bring another team out of Hanford. You know what I mean? We have Valley Fights over here that's already strong. And I work out and train with them. But it'd be cool to just have something out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
I'll comment on the stuff Anthony said. That he said, some coaches got arrested and he needs people to wrap their hands. So I'm gonna make sure that he's there for every time I have my fighters there.
I
If
got you,
something
man.
happens to me. And have you ever seen Antoine kick someone, man? I've seen a video of this guy spinning back kicking some poor soul out there. Oh my god, man. That's why I won't follow that one, man. You know what I mean? Like I ain't scared of no one, but it's okay to be a little I know
Yeah, that was
it
a
was a little bit of
a
ego.
crazy situation, and one day.
Yeah.
I think he froze. Did he freeze or was it just on my screen?
All I know about
no.
Anton
Hey,
now,
Antoine. Antoine, is he
snakes.
frozen?
Is it
Away from my router, so
There
is
you
it
go.
just on my
Oh
screen he's
man.
frozen or is it on all
No,
Nah,
everybody's
he's
good
frozen on
except
my
for.
screen.
There you go. I'm gonna resend him an email.
he's out.
Yeah, he'll come back. Hey, I was gonna ask him how long he's been doing jiu-jitsu, but
Well, speaking of
anyways,
jiu-jitsu,
Hey,
Tom, how long
Archie,
you
to get back
how
to your
Yeah, Sergio, go for it. As far as the darts and when you felt comfortable doing it in a fight, where you learned it, or because just to do any move in the middle of real action fight, you got to get comfortable with it, and must have been practicing for a while, I'm guessing.
I think to land in a spot, it has to be 100% luck, or it has to be 100% you've already landed that about 1,000 times in practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's either or. You know, it's a dark choke. That's just one of those things that
hey bro.
I kind of learned on myself, and then going to jiu-jitsu school. Because I don't really have like a jiu-jitsu academy. I just kind of like my jiu-jitsu is mostly no gi and a lot
You're
of
a free
grappling.
agent?
When I did start doing I did it with Mark Dal Cruz and Camarillo and them. And I learned some stuff there. They clean up they slow down everything and clean it up. But I think every fighter, I think Michael attest to this. We got the little phases where we get our moves. I had a phase in my career where a guillotine I had a really good guillotine, and I
yeah,
kept a couple people with a guillotine. I mean, I put Darius to sleep. And then there was a point where I had this like a one arm kind of weird choke thing that my teammates would call the Sergio. But then I saw Uriah Faber, dude, on Mike McDonald. So it has to be a real choke. I mean, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I was good at that. And we all go through a little like
Hey, there he
just like
is.
kind of landing on everybody. And when you start landing on everybody, hey, you know what I mean? Why not try
I
it
got a
twice?
I got a question
I don't
for
even know where I learned it from.
oh,
Go ahead.
Mike, let's hear a
hey
question.
Serge.
Or for Antoine, for who?
Serge, what position do you like to get that darts from? Like, is there a certain transition or a certain position you like to start to like find it?
So when I learned it, it was from half guard. So I would bait the guy. So say someone's on bottom half guard. They're gonna try to get up. They're gonna try to scoot out. Under when they underhook right there.
Oh, okay, I
The
know
way
what
I
you mean.
like to
I
do
know
it, I
exactly
just
what you're saying.
Yes. Well,
especially
you're
that
on
underhook
top.
is super lazy.
the way I like to do
Yeah,
it. Yeah, the way I like to do it is just beast mode. I just like to grab the head, snap them down, and get it. You know what I mean? So it's
right.
kind of like my style. You know what I mean, like if someone shoots on me, or sometimes like I'll take someone down and then like prop up like I'm a punch them, and they'll kind of like shoot in.
Right,
And once I get the
right.
stock, there's chokes I could do to tap the neck, and the darts is a really good one I like, man. It's one of my favorites right
I
now.
got
But I
another
have other
question.
stuff too, man.
Nice.
Yes.
What about you, Mike?
If I may, I got one more
Yes.
question. I was
Yeah,
gonna
go.
ask Antoine before he left. How long have you been doing jujitsu?
For me?
Yeah, Antoine.
So 2009 is when I actually put on the gi.
Okay.
So it took me
No, but
about
like that doesn't. But were you doing jujitsu before that?
yeah. But actually, yeah, like I've been grappling since probably early 2000s. So 2003, 2004.
Okay, all right. That's 2001, 2002 is when I started doing jujitsu. But
Yeah,
I started wrestling when I was 7 years old.
yeah.
So I got like on the mat time, I got like 30 years on the mat. Isn't that fucking
Nice.
crazy, bro?
Damn. Okay.
It's fucking
Hey, so
bananas
Mike,
sometimes. Like,
That's emoji shit right there.
that's crazy shit.
Mike, when I
Yeah.
first saw you fight out there at
I didn't even realize
WEC,
that. I'm getting old.
oh no, you're not getting old.
Yeah.
You're all good. Hey, when you came out, when you were fighting and you had Jasper and his brother in the corner, did they have a
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu coach at their school at that time?
negative. I got my jiu-jitsu training in Salinas with Master Vince Vanderlipe, and that was very far and few between. So I only like got to actually go and train there like whenever I was in Salinas. You know what I mean? So it wasn't every day. It wasn't multiple times a day, but I was on the mat training multiple times a day, like 2, 3 times a day, all the time. Training. That's all I did. You know what I mean? But like, to be honest with you, when I really learned and took my game to the fucking next level, bro, is when I met Professor Eduardo, which is
Yes.
about 4 or 5 years ago. And ever since I've been fucking training with him, bro, my game is like skyrocketed. I wish I was training with that guy since the very first time I stepped on the fucking jujitsu mats and put on a gi, bro. I'd have fucking been a black belt in like 7 years, bro.
Yeah.
No problem. You know what I mean?
He's legit.
But like,
Very legit.
yeah, but it took it. I went to him as a brown belt. You know what I mean? And I first time I did fucking like a workout or a class, and it was actually a seminar with him. I was like, I don't fucking know shit. I fucking suck. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you know what I mean? Because before that, it was mostly just me kind of cross training and looking at shit, breaking shit down, watching what people I like and I
Yeah.
admire do, and whenever they compete, I break down film and I try to do it, and it was like trial and error. But I never got the little details, those little tips and tricks that I was talking about earlier with Antoine. Those
Yeah.
little gems, those little gem
Yeah.
details. You know what I mean? That you're stuck in a certain spot, and you're like, ooh, damn, that's fucking so genius right there.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what
I
I
mean,
mean? That
and you
little,
know, like,
those little gems
and those
with
jiu-jitsu
Professor
programs.
Eduardo all the time, every day, back to back. Every time I fucking see him, bro. You know what I mean? It's fucking dope.
And then, like, like a lot of jiu-jitsu programs kind of different now. You got some schools who the goal is just to teach you how to win tournaments, like how to game the
Right.
system to win on points or whatever you got to do, to win tournaments. And then you have like those self-defense styles. And then you got the people
Yeah.
who's like more MMA oriented and like real life, jiu-jitsu. So a lot of times you'll like move different gyms and you'll be like, man, this style is not the same, because I came from a program where to me it was like, okay, this is how you win jiu-jitsu tournaments, not how to understand jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then
Right.
now being a Lions brown belt, like training with those guys in San Diego and things like that, man, it's a wholly different ball game, man. Like a lot of those guys, you go out there
Yeah.
and stuff too.
I know Professor Elias Gallegos, by the way, bro.
Was
That
that?
guy's a fucking. I know Professor
Yeah, that's my
Elias
boy.
Gallegos.
Yeah, that's my
I
guy,
know
man.
him
That's my professor.
personally. I know him. He's my fucking boy right
Yeah,
there.
he's
I
cool.
love that guy. That guy's so fucking awesome. What's up, bro? And fuck, that guy's so fucking awesome, bro. Like when I was in San Diego training at Throwdown, back then it was Throwdown, now it's Victory MMA. He
Yeah.
was there and with Dean Lister and training there before he opened his school. And he was he used to train with Gracie Humaita,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where my Professor Eduardo came from. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So
nice.
like I'm very familiar with Elias Gallegos, bro, Professor
Hell
Elias.
yeah.
Dude, super good dude right there, bro. Super good dude. Can't say more better things about it, bro.
Good. Yeah, we've been talking a lot now, man, because he's a.
I got a question for Antoine.
What's up?
Antoine,
Say again, sir.
Antoine.
What's up, brother?
I don't know because I think there's a delay.
I got you now.
I know that you're a breeding business. All right, you got me?
Yep.
I know that you're in the snake breeding business. How cutthroat is that compared to Tiger King, man? Is it the same thing? Are you out there getting death threats or maybe giving some death threats?
This motherfucker.
You said, man, just funny, if you watch the beginning of the Tiger King, he was about to do a documentary on snakes because the guy that bred poisonous snakes, and he allegedly got a body on him too. But when the guy saw that snow leopard, he changed stories. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Like
one thing I learned is these people are they're sociopaths, man, which means they're smart and manipulative. Okay, so let's talk.
Anytime you're dealing with someone's business and money and well-being, you're always gonna have like problems like that too. You know what I mean? So anytime you feel like somebody's threatening to put food on your table, you always gonna have those cutthroat people, man. You know, and that's why like you can tell, like, look at the people who just go to martial arts gyms and just teach it for the fun and don't really have a financial stake in it. You know, those guys, and then look at those guys who run jiu-jitsu academies and gyms who that's their sole means of income. They treat it a lot different. Right. You notice that, right? Like some gym owners, and you know, when they're in the same city, it's not a fucking game, man. Like they're like, hey, we do this at our gym, unlike these guys and shit too. Where guys like me, when I'm doing it mostly for the love of it and got something to fall back on, I don't have to worry about like being online trying to fight for that for every single $75 membership when someone posts, hey, looking for somewhere to train. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, man. So in that world, like even in the reptile industry, man, there's guys, this is all they do. And man, like, and people have gotten killed over this shit too.
Hey, bro, I think you have a YouTube channel, man. You should come out with like a mini doc, bro. I'd watch that. I share it.
Yeah, man. I got a couple of videos on the channel now, man. And for those tuning in, all these guys back here are snakes, man, in these drawers.
So, snake there, dude.
Yeah, so I'll show you guys one.
Snakes.
Let's see one of the big ones.
Yeah, I don't kind of nervous. Oh my god.
So this one got sold yesterday. So
those are just like
So somebody spent their whole $1,200 on this one. So this whole stimulus check right here.
Yeah. You should just every snake $1,200. So how do you ship those, man?
There's like a.
You just can't ship them UPS.
Yeah, you ship it through FedEx, man. It's next day delivery.
You looking to buy one, Sergio?
Okay, that's good. Oh man,
let me know, man. I'll send you a baby soon, man. I'll sponsor you. I'll sponsor you for your next fight too.
There you go. Ooh, I work out with it. That's pretty much it. As long as that's a whole nother.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. That it's a lot of fighters, man. That that I've been sponsoring for the fights coming up. If you watch Bellator, there's a guy from Black House, Miguel Jacob, Serena Southpaw. I sponsored for her fight. Alex Perez, Jalen Turner, the Tarantula. He's up at Tashi before too. So if you go to the Instagram pages, you'll see them rocking my T-shirts and stuff like that too, and sharing my page. So man, and then when we get back to this quarantine stuff, I'm doing like a what's in the box video with like a bunch of UFC fighters and be putting their hands in the box and touching fucking tarantulas and toads and shit like that. So it's gonna be crazy. So you're gonna see some of like the most toughest people in the world pitch up over like a little tiny fucking animal. So it's gonna be hilarious.
Hey, I got one for you. And first of all, I want to congratulate you. You were starting, I believe, a real good thing there, and then this Corona started, but. Did you ever start or kind of a camp with a hotel or rooms for fighters with a kitchen, just like we've seen before on UFC and stuff? Is that an idea that you?
So the plan was like the property that's right next door to mine. It's a 2 or 3 bedroom, like a bathroom like house, and I talked to the landlord, and the goal was in May is for me to take that over. So what I wanted to do is have a fighter house here because there's so many like single guys, it's like amateurs and pros that come out here all the time. So I was gonna do kind of one room like a transient room. So when people like come into town, they can stay for a week. And everybody that's in town total, I was gonna charge them. I had it mapped out where it was gonna be one price, $500 a month would cover the house, the electricity, gas, internet, all that stuff, fully furnished and unlimited classes. So you have a passcode to enter the gym. You can enter 24/7, do all the classes, and do all the fight camp stuff for one low price. And man, you can't beat that, you know. So I had it to where
No,
I
that's
would get
a
decent profit off of it, and it'll help a lot of people out. So that's kind of a dead thing right now with everything going on. But you know, who knows? Maybe next year I might start it back up.
That'd be dope, bro. I come out.
I pray that
I
everything
come out
kind
for
of
that
goes
fucking
back
fight
in
house.
normal, or somehow that we all get back.
But when this
It's
stuff,
kind of scary, man. You know what I mean?
but when everything does calm down, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have Mike out. I'm gonna have Mike out here, Ralph out here, Sergio out here, man. We're gonna do like a real big, training session out here
Let's
too.
do it.
So I'm gonna have everybody come out. You guys have a place to stay. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, we're there.
Hey,
What
bro,
we could do, man, is we come
I
out
want to
there
come
and
out
do
and
an
train with all
episode.
of you guys already, bro.
You gotta
Heck
bring the
yeah.
hype back.
Right. Say again, Tom.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you gotta bring the
Once
hype
this is
back.
all over,
Bring attention to the MMA world.
we'll load up the crew and
Yeah.
we'll go out there and do an episode of Inside the Dojo out there at Flawless Victory.
Yeah,
Heck yeah, man. I got plenty of space for you guys too, man.
yeah. That's an
Well,
overnighter right there.
guys, we're running out of time here, but appreciate you guys for coming on. And man, I hope we can do this again, but all get us all together in the same room, kick back, you know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
Have a little time. Then Mike will break out one of those glass tips.
I got you, bro. Let's fucking train, bro. Come and do an Inside the Dojo at D-Throne. The D-Throne
I'm
closest
down.
location.
Yeah, we
Come
gotta
by,
get
We're
to
bro.
down, right,
somebody.
Archie?
Yeah, heck
I'll
yeah.
get
We're
you
always
fucking
down, bro.
higher. Hey, bro, I'll get you higher than a giraffe's ass. Come on. Let's go.
Archie. All right. Well, hey, man, any of you guys got a special sponsor or shout out you want to give before we shut this down?
I just want to say, just stay tuned. 559 Fights is coming back. Hopefully, if everything is cool by June 13th, we got Mike put together a badass grappling tournament. I'm gonna put some of the best fights together in the Valley, man. So doing that. So it's gonna be a good time. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can go to my reptile page, High Desert Pythons, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Check out what I got there. Follow me on my regular stuff at Coach_Antoine or Antoine Hood on Facebook.
Mike?
Yeah, man, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. It's always fun to fucking kick back and talk to people, even though right now we're not able to. Stay tuned for the 559 Fights. I'm telling you, that June card and Visalia, it's going to be a banger, bro. We're going to come out fucking swinging. It's going to be fucking fun. Follow me on social media as well. Instagram at Sensei Mike Moreno. Facebook at Mike Moreno MMA. And YouTube at Mike Moreno MMA.
Beautiful. And Sergio, you got any sponsor you want to throw out there?
No, I'm gonna shout out my damn self, man. Because once this is over, I'm coming back with a fucking man.
Yeah.
I got a lot of crazy stuff going on with my wife right now. I'm not living my mind, not training, but I'm gonna come back, man. I'm still young-ish. I'm 29 for like the second year in a row or something like that. But I might start with Mike's tournament, and get the ball rolling with that, and then we'll go from there, man. I still got some gas in the tank, man, and some coke. So let's go review, baby.
Oh yeah.
And good seeing you guys. Come man.
Good seeing you, brother.
Training with you at one time, and Mike Moreno, man, you've always been a low-key inspiration for me, man. I used to see you walk at the palace, man, and just chill for. I always wanted to kind of be like that. You got some cool points in my book for sure forever.
Thanks, man.
All right,
bro. Appreciate you.
Well, guys, I want to thank you again, and then I got to give a little shout out to a couple of our sponsors that helped us out for the show, and Archie might want me too. But for some of you guys out there that are interested in CBD oil, you can't just trust any CBD, guys.
Bro, Gentle Art, baby.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I use it too.
At the bottom of the screen.
Fuck yeah, bro. Holler at the boy Gentle Art, bro. That guy's the
Gentle
fucking
Art.
man. He's the fucking man.
Hey,
Yes,
he's one of our
he
sponsors.
is.
We have him at the bottom of the scroll all the time, every show. Gentle Art CBD.
Yeah, that guy,
So
like,
check it
y'all,
out.
please go by and support this man.
Yeah.
He's the
Yes.
most fucking giving man to local fucking talent. Sponsors a bunch of local talent. This
Nice.
guy's the fucking man. Gentle Art CBD. Go hit that guy up. Follow him on Instagram at Gentle Art CBD. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
And
you
if you
just
need
made my
to,
job easy, bro.
hey, and if you
I
need to buy
got
that
you,
CBD,
bro.
you can.
Gent is that. Hey, bro, my boy sponsors me
That's a
too, bro.
commercial right there, man. For the stage.
Every tournament I've ever gone to, bro, that guy always makes sure I'm medicated and I'm taken care of, bro, with all my CBD needs.
David.
Holler at him. He's got
And guys,
bath bombs. He's got fucking
yes,
drops, gummies, everything, man. That guy's a fucking man, bro.
Hey, you
the
know
whole
what?
9 yards.
I got a testament, and this guy is for real, for sure. The CBD cream. I had a busted elbow when during my December tournament. Nogi, we're all busted. Anyhow, use that CBD cream. That thing was awesome, man. It works so well. Yeah, it numbs it just like any other prescribed pharmaceutical
Yeah.
cream. Why
But
not?
it's
Why not gentle
anti-inflammation.
art?
The CBD is anti-inflammation.
Exactly, man. I know it was just perfect. So, hey, General Art CBD.
Man, this
If you
stuff
need
is
any,
awesome,
you
bro.
can go through MMA Fight Pass. Hit us up.
That
We'll
guy's the
help you
man.
get it. Go for
There
it.
you go. You heard it right there. Hey, shut up. Dog in the background. Also, guys, if you guys want to, you like Mexican food, there's a lot of Mexican food here in the valley. Give La Enchiladas. You want to get a good torta asada, maybe a burrito, chile verde, tacos.
Are they
They got
they're local? Where they at?
They're on Blackstone, Blackstone
Okay.
in Fresno, and they're
yep,
local. You know, there's a lot of nice
they're
MMA.
local people.
Yeah,
Hey,
they
local
support
people,
MMA.
man, they got a damn good torta. That's what I like to go for. And their carne asada is really off the hook. And the chip, they got some salsa, homemade salsa. You guys are gonna appreciate it. And they're locals, man. We like to help out the locals. Plus,
I
they
might
helped
have
us
to go
out.
and fucking get some fucking enchiladas from La Enchilada.
There you
A
go.
lot.
Yeah.
Chris Arias from Madera MMA.
And you
He's
know,
on that.
food good if it's on Blackstone Ghetto, yo. So, ooh, you know that food's fire. Ooh, I already know.
I'm a holler at
Hell
him.
yeah.
Let me see what's up.
You want a little tasty treat afterwards? Acai bowls. I don't know if you guys
That's my
like the.
fucking shit, baby.
Yeah, they're on Van
Oh
Ness
yeah.
in Fresno.
Yep. Rio acai. And man, hey, it's not you can't not every acai is created equal, guys. There's a lot of bullshit out there with fake.
It is.
Yes.
These guys are doing it with the real thing, and plus they got toppings that are legit. You can get a damn healthy acai bowl. Hey, you go get some lava, and then afterwards you want an acai bowl. You're gonna sleep like a champ, and then you throw a little bit of the mix. Hey, it's not gonna
Bam!
For real.
Hey, and one more thing. These three gentlemen that joined us today, they're fighters, they're pro fighters and everything. Don't ever think that you can't go and hit one of these guys and take them one-on-one. You gotta work it. That's what they think.
We're cutting out, Tom. Turn the phone.
Yeah, I get it.
There you go. Gotcha. Awesome, Tom. Close
All
it
right.
up.
Thank you for joining us, man. You can make
It's like you're underwater.
Yeah. I'll see you guys next time, guys.
All right, guys. We're signing off.
Underwater.
Yeah, hey, Mike, Sergio,
Take it easy, bro.
Antoine, thanks, guys. We're signing off. Cool. Awesome.
Take it easy. Peace.
All right, guys, take it easy.
See y'all, man.
Man, thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
Hey, y'all. Peace out, man. Hell yeah.
All right, Serge, take
All
care.
right, peace.
Thank you, Sergio.
Hold on, Tom. We're still live.